because this is the one that's supposed to be live. Oh, you can just tell how my Sunday is. You can really tell how my Sunday is. Yeah, because this is the one that should be live. Hello, Reaper. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was doing. It was so weird. How are you, Reaper? The proper one is live now. But yeah, YouTube gremlins. There's gremlins all over the place. Mischief Maker. Hello, Don. How are you? Yeah, it's been a little crazy today. I don't understand what the shit's going on with YouTube. But yeah, YouTube is live. Speedy. If you, yeah, I don't even think you can. I don't even know. Not sure. Technology can be evil. It definitely can. I am live, Speedy, on YouTube, but that's not the right YouTube. Put it to you that way. That one I deleted. But Reaper, how are you doing today? Next weekend we don't have a CCOH, but the weekend after that, we're talking about Pierre, which I made that one live. So yeah, Pixie, I'm going to be deep diving the director that you suggested, Piero Pasolini. We're going to talk about, yeah, there we go. We're going to talk about him not this weekend, but on the May 25th. I believe it's May 25th. We will be discussing, we're going to be discussing his political horror. Yeah. I'm excited to do that one. Nice, Speedy. Yeah, I want to continue on with our deep dives and discussions into directors. So that's what I'm planning on doing. You're good. Thought YouTube was weird. Yeah, Reaper, I prefer you over here anyways, to be honest. Oh, I've got to turn something on the kick side of things. Give me a second. I forgot to do that. Give me a second. I forgot. This is going to be multi. There we go. All right, so everything looks good now. Everything looks like it's copacetic. Crazy. Hi, Reaper. You're everywhere. Hi, Prince. Hey, Jeremiah. Did your ex get hacked, Jeremiah? Your Twitter? Hello, Galaxy. How are you? You're doing well? So tomorrow I am going to figure something. Me and my sister are going because I'll have a meeting tomorrow. Oh, okay, Don. Hopefully it goes well for you. Yeah, I'm really excited. I actually, Pixie, I was doing some research on Pierre yesterday and his background, and I'm pretty excited to actually talk about that. Who are you kidding, Rob? Prefers our souls to be chili in chili. I love chili. There we go, Macabre. I don't know what the hell YouTube was doing. I honestly don't. Okay, yeah, I thought so because I got a weird message saying that you reported me, but I obviously know that scam. I didn't block you on there because I kind of figured you may get your account back. Thank you, Reaper, for being everywhere. You are the Reaper, so it's like you're an omnipresent. But yeah, we're on we're live on all 3 stations, so you can watch from your favorite platform, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Hello, Wickedy, how are you? Crazy shenanigans this morning. That's all I have to say. Happy Mother's Day to everyone as well, whether you're a fur baby mommy or a human mommy. Yeah, there's Lumia. Lumia takes a little bit of time, Speedy, on the YouTube side of things, just because it's YouTube. I'm everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. Chillin' was writing, it's 100 degrees here. Eek. It's last time I looked outside, it was like 13 degrees Celsius. Hello, Galaxy. My noon is already becoming bad because I felt a little earlier and I had an accident. Yeah. Well, that sucks, Galaxy. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully it gets better for you. I know I try not to let the things that happen in my day ruin the rest of my day. It can be hard. It could be a difficult thing to try to do, is because you know what? We're not going to have perfect days every day. We're just not. I would love to have a perfect day every fucking day, but unfortunately in my world that doesn't happen. However, I always try to make the best of my situation because I don't want my whole day ruined by something, and that's a lot. There's no wheel here, Speedy. It's for CCOH. It's just like Twitch. So on Sundays on CCOH, there is only evil and horny commands. There are no sounds. There are no wheels. That's not set up for that. Yeah, on CCOH. I just figured I'd say it over there as well for YouTube and Twitch. I fell on the sidewalk yesterday, but I'm okay. Oh no, I'm glad you're okay, Jeremiah. That sucks. And yeah, we're coming to an end of CCOH here soon. Jeez, I swear that happens so quickly. Like, June is next month. And June 1st is probably going to be the last CCOH of this season, and it will pick back up again in the fall. But I honestly can't believe that we're that quickly, like that friggin' quickly. I meant to add week, but I guess I forgot to add. Oh, it's all good, Galaxy. Crazy. How was everybody's Saturday? Hey, Vengeance, how are you? Yeah, I did not sleep. I have not really slept. I think in total for the last 2 days, I have about 3 hours of sleep for 2 days. I don't understand why I'm not sleeping, but I'm just not tired. And last night, Heavy, same thing. Heavy couldn't sleep. It was so fucking weird. We both went to bed at our normal time to wind down and relax and then, you know, hopefully fall asleep. We were both wide awake. Heavy was tired, though. I was wide awake. I think we were up till about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, I had to get up to be with Loki, so. But I don't feel tired, Pixie. That's the strange thing. Like, I'm good to go. I am good to go. I'm not tired at all. You would think for somebody who barely slept, I would be exhausted. But I'm not. You're doing good. Don't have coffee, but I found a surge in my mini fridge. Nice, Vengeance. Moving over the TV because my social battery has been at 0 all weekend. We'll be watching, just not chatting. No worries, Macabre. It's all good. I get that. Spent my whole day playing New World. Ooh, how is that, Mischief Maker? Hey, Darkbreaker, how are you? Guess I looked at Hell Night with Linda Blair the other day. Nice, Wickety. Last night was fun. Took my mom out to eat. Took her to her favorite store and got her some stuff too. That's awesome, Galaxy. But I have a conversation with me and my sister. We talked about Yami, whatever happens that fights on this. Okay, Don. All right. You're doing good. That's good to hear. You're looking forward to this one? Yeah, I'm looking forward to talk to you about Mario Bava. I feel tired, and all I've done today was my little 4-mile run with some weights. Yeah, you're going to be tired, woman. That's a lot of work. I couldn't do that. I'd die. I'd be like 10 seconds down the road and there goes Ra. She's dead. Because that's exactly what it would be like. I love it to have it on both Xbox and PC. Nice. Nice. You're still asleep? Thank you, Vengeance. Thank you. I have a call with the young one tonight. She's going to call me after work at 1 o'clock after CCOH. I'm actually going to go run over to my elder spawn's house, see my grandbabies. See her, see how everyone's doing. So I'm going to have a nice little visit. So today is going to be a busy day for me. Where did that come from? That is so weird. Did you guys hear that? It'd just be me hearing that. I don't even know what the shit that was. Oh, because Speedy did a beer. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Well, Pixie, you kick ass. 4 miles with weights and you're running. That is, you have a reason to be tired, woman. Like, seriously, her favorite store is Earthbound. Nice. Nice. I don't think I have a favorite store. Not here, at least. All right. Let's get into Zombie. How are you? Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Yeah. How dare you be tired after running, right? Darkbreaker, look at you and your 7-stream streak. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, Evil will work here on all platforms. It's just a little bit slower on YouTube than it is here. Thank you, Zombie. Thank you. Thank you. Heavy took me for breakfast yesterday because we kind of figured if we go for breakfast today, I will probably not make CCOH because today is a very busy day and we went to my favorite place. They have an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet, and while I'm a hungry bitch, so buffets always work best in my favor. And he took me yesterday to go for our Mother's Day breakfast because it would be too crazy today. I got tired just getting out of bed today. That sucks, Reaper. I rolled out of bed today. I laid in bed because I just lay in bed when I'm awake. I just lay there. I didn't want to get up and wake up Loki because I didn't want him up early, so I just laid in bed. But yeah, I get out of bed. And of course, I got to take care of him because he's filled with fucking energy. You are most welcome, Ryan. It's been a while since I managed to do 7 streams in a row. It's awesome, and I appreciate that, Darkbreaker, but I definitely understand time zones are a real pain in the ass, and sometimes when I stream, it's your sleeping time. Ra, would you have to be wheeled to CCOH after breakfast buffet? Now, I can pack food away and still walk away. Everybody is going to sleep stressed out. I'm not stressed, Don. I don't know why I just can't sleep the last couple of days. Always here? Yeah. I get up as soon as I wake up. Most of the time, Reaper, I get up when I wake up, except for today. I know Heavy did fall asleep early this morning, probably at about 4 or so. So I wanted to keep Loki quiet so he can at least get a couple of hours of sleep. I lucked out yesterday finding all those figures. You did, dude. I am super fucking jealous. Hello, Base Devil. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all our fur baby moms and human mommies out there. Not really, Galaxy. Yeah, not really. Not often. Not often at all. What's going on, James? How you doing? There are people who are in the Discord that do not come to streams. They just like hanging out in the community. So we do have that. We do have that. And that's okay. That's okie dokies. The husband-shaped object didn't go to bed until after 7 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. See, but Heavy was extremely tired. And that was the thing. He wanted to go to sleep. Me, I was full on wired like I drank a cup of coffee. Or like I drank a Red Bull or something. I still have energy. Like, it's so strange. I'm not tired. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It'll probably hit me later today, right? It'll probably hit me much later today. Probably around supper time. Maybe. But I am full of energy. Maybe. I don't know, Zombie. I have no idea. But those action figures you found, yeah, I am super jealous. I even wrote that in there. Glares with jealousy. You're doing good. Can't decide if you want to keep watching season 2 of Andor or watch more of the bad movies I found yesterday. Nice. Well, at least you have something to do. I'll send Juju's for him because he's feeling sick. Oh, okay. Post-stream nap for the win. Hi, Diella. How are you? I've just been busy. I don't know why. I don't understand. Okay. Anyways, let's dive into our coffee chat of horrors. If this is your first time here for CCOH, feel free to have a conversation, ask questions, converse among yourselves as well. We are going to be deep diving into Mario Bava. If there is something that maybe I have not gotten or actually left out, you are more than welcome to post it in the chat. Coffee Chat of Horrors Galaxy is CCOH. Yeah, have to let me know what you're looking for, and I'll keep my eyes open for you. Thank you, Zombie. I look for everything. Everything. There isn't anything that I'm not looking for. I mean, my holy grail, my white whale, I'm not going to find it anywhere. I'm not going to find it. If I do find it, it's going to be way too expensive. Yeah, so CCOH means Coffee Chat of Horrors, right? CCOH. Yeah. All right, let's dive into it, shall we?
Who likes scary movies and coffee?
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. HORDE Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, thank you very much, Base Devil. I appreciate that. You have so many things. I never know what you got and what you don't. I know. I don't have, there's a lot that I don't have, like Return of the Living Dead. I don't have, the only thing I have of Return of the Living Dead is that mask, because some of the items you can't get here. Damn, I don't drink coffee. Does that mean I gotta leave? No. What is your white whale? It is the Pamela Voorhees and Jason Voorhees action figure. Nice, Galaxy. Enjoy. My Holy Grail film probably no longer exists at all, but I want to see the original cut of Event Horizon. That would be awesome, Pixie. That would be awesome. I haven't been able to find that, and I have a few different copies of Event Horizon. And usually you can find everything and anything on the interwebs, right? All right, guys. Good morning, my day walkers, and welcome to Coffee Chat of Horrors. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of scream, and today we're diving into the hauntingly beautiful world of one of Italy's most influential filmmakers, Mario Bava. Last night in the Discord, we watched A Bay of Blood, which I'm going to highly recommend checking out if you are new to Italian horror. Mario Bava really put Italy on the map for horror when he decided to do some filmmaking. He's got a lot of great movies. Started out with more of a gothic type of horror, and then A Bay of Blood was technically his first slasher. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, make sure to go and check it out, because he's got some great movies. All right. In this episode, we're going to explore how Bava's artistic eye, innovative techniques, and bold storytelling helped shape the language of horror, suspense, and the Italian Giallo genre. You've likely felt his influences, whether you've seen any of his films directly or watched directors who borrowed heavily from his style. From gothic black and white nightmares to vibrant colored silk murder mysteries, Mario Bava's fingerprints are all over modern horror, whether audiences realize it or not. And this is so very true because there are numerous films, Halloween, John Carpenter, Friday the 13th, they have all been inspired by Mario Bava. And Friday the 13th actually has 2 kills in part 1 and in part 2 that are exactly the scenes, the actual carbon copy of the kills in the movie A Bay of Blood. So there's a lot of influences in our movies today, even in the yesteryear of Bava's influence. Mario Bava was born in 1914 in northern Italy into a family already immersed into visual storytelling. His father, Eugenio Bava, was a special effects artist and cameraman during the silent film era. You also might know Lamberto Bava, which is Mario Bava's son. It's clear that Mario inherited not just his father's technical know-how, but also his artistic sensibility. Bava started out as a painter in his life before he got into filmmaking. So he trained as a painter. Bava carried that visual artistry into every frame of his work, something that would set him apart from many of his other contemporaries. So his lighting, if you ever watch a Mario Bava film, his lighting, his camera angles, there's just a lot about his way of filming that people were not doing at this time. And you've got to remember, this is back in like the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, where his style of filming, you can definitely tell his apart from others. He made way for directors like Dario Argento, right? That is a lot of Bava. That is a lot of Bava. It's a long line of Bava in the movie world, when you think about it. It's like an entire family of cinematography. Originally, So before Bava stepped into the director chair, he was working as a cinematographer throughout the 1940s and the 1950s. His eye for lighting, shadow, and composition quickly gained attention in the Italian film industry. He started out doing a lot of gothic vampire ghost type of films. And with the lighting and the shadowing that he was bringing to the table, he really made a name for himself. He collaborated with other directors across many genres, but it wasn't until he was on I Vampiri, which is the Lust of the Vampire from 1957. So you may know it as Lust of the Vampire. Really good movie. That Bava's quiet genius began to shine. So the original director, Riccardo Freda, left the project while Bava was basically underneath him, like studying underneath him, helping him out. So Bava completed the film. However, he does not get credit for directing this film because Riccardo Freda was the one who got the credits. But that's what started his future dominance in horror right there. After that, it just set off one movie after another. At the time, Italy's film industry was booming with genre films. So sword and sandal epics, meaning mythology and biblical films, were huge, starting to take off really big there. Gothic horror, spaghetti westerns, and then later on came crime thrillers, which you will know as Giallo. Bava would eventually become a pillar of Italy's unique cinematic voice, particularly within horror and Giallo. Now, it's not to say that he didn't start Giallo, he didn't, but he actually created the name for it. Not like he didn't come up with the name Giallo. What I'm saying is that with his movies, Giallo became a thing. He didn't start Giallo, but it actually started to go on a rise with his films. Spaghetti Western, such a name. Yeah. He did Hercules. Yeah, he's done a lot of movies, especially some outside of horror. But remember, at that time in Italy, it was definitely up and coming sword and sandal films. Gothic horror and Giallo were slowly on the rise. And this is where we see a lot of Italian horror do Gothic, because that was one of the biggest things happening. We do have an ad break that's going to happen here on Twitch, so we're just going to deviate from our normal discussion on Mario so it doesn't get stuck behind a paywall. The Trinity movies. Yeah, as you can see here, there's tons of different movies that he has been in. That he has done. He's also cameoed in some of his movies. I don't know if any of you know. Have you seen Hell of... No, I have not, Diella. I have not. It's not playing here in our theater, so I haven't seen it yet. And I haven't watched any TV, to be honest with you. The only time I've watched television this week was I had an early screener for the movie with Josh Hartnett called Fight or Flight, and that's the only thing I actually watched. I honestly haven't had any time. But yeah, has anybody seen? Hey Ace, how are you? How are you feeling? Has anybody here besides myself and Pixie seen a Mario Bava film? And do you know who Mario Bava is? Not a lot of people do, unless you're really into Giallo or Italian horror, or and I mean, his movies have become international icons, especially like Black Sunday and Black Sabbath. Yeah. I am not doing too bad, thanks. That's awesome. I know who he is. Haven't seen any of his films. Okay, I've heard the name. I don't know if I've seen one. You might have. I don't think I have. Had to look up his name to see if I have. Yeah, for sure. He's done, again, his movies are from like the 1960s. Really from the 1960s is where he starts taking off with his films. And just like with Hammer horror, every area or every culture has started their own classic horror, right? So Hammer horror, a lot of people would not know what Hammer horror is either, because it wasn't huge in the United States at the time. I've seen Black Sabbath. Nice. I'm going to have to recommend A Bay of Blood. And when you watch A Bay of Blood, you will see two iconic scenes that are in Friday the 13th. literally done by done. A lot of the old black and white horror. Yeah, I love classic horror, so I know quite a few of the older directors, especially Giallo. I really love Giallo. There's a really good, we are going to be speaking about Dario Argento, and that's probably going to be June 1st, our last CCOH, where he's one of my favorite Italian directors. We also have Lucio. There's so many that we're going to be discussing, especially when we get into season 8 of CCOH. But we're going to be talking about Pierre on the May 25th, and then Dario Argento on the 1st. And there's a really good documentary on Dario Argento. I would highly recommend it. Should I watch Prom Ride or It Waits? It Waits. Giallo is just a delightful genre. It really is. And it's a bloody genre, not a gory genre. I mean, it can have its gore moments, but it's a bloody friggin' genre. And I love that. All right, so let's take a deeper look at the first, at films that shaped Bava's legacy, not just as an Italian filmmaker, but as a visionary whose work helped lay the groundwork for entire genres. And I mean entire genres. He has influenced people like John Carpenter, Joe Dante, Sean Cunningham. I remember Christopher Lee saying that when they did The Devil Rides Out, they were told that they would have to change the title as the Americans would think it's a Western. Oh, yeah, probably, especially during the time it came out, because Westerns were huge in the United States. So we begin with Black Sunday, which was released in 1960. This is Bava's official directorial debut, starring the haunting Barbara Steele in a dual role. The film follows a vengeful witch executed in the 1600s who rises from the grave. This is shot in a stark black and white, beautiful. Like I said, he is like the godfather of lighting and shadows. The way he films things, beautifully done. And I'm going to highly recommend Black Sunday if you've not seen it. Black Sunday is a gothic horror at its most beautiful. The film's moody lighting, the expressionistic compositions, and eerie atmosphere help introduce Bava to the international audiences. You could say some of The Exorcist DNA lives here. If you've watched The Exorcist and you see the lighting and and just the atmosphere, you could say that that was some of the inspiration came from Bava. I mean, in visuals alone, I mean, for me, that's what it looked like. Deep Red has such a great soundtrack, and the visuals are lovely. Last night, Devil Dog was saying how he really enjoyed the music in A Bay of Blood. And I'm like, well, Italian horror, Giallo always has amazing soundtracks and the most beautiful women. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed watching any kind of Italian horror, almost every single woman in there is beautiful? I don't think there has been like one ugly woman or mediocre woman in any Italian horror films. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Italian horror, and I haven't really seen many, right? You've noticed that in most horror, yeah, but have you noticed that in Italian horror? Yeah. Well, yeah, right, Speedy? The Cemetery Man is another good one. Yeah, Cemetery Man's a good one. The women in Italian and Hammer horror films are just freaking gorgeous. I would have to agree with you, Pixie. 100%. And now next we have Black Sabbath in 1963. This is a horror anthology and hosted by none other Boris Karloff. Now, this movie it's a horror anthology. Did it start horror anthologies? Probably not. However, you can definitely see some of the inspiration in some of our horror anthologies like Creepshow. So Black Sabbath has 3 chilling tales, including a fan favorite called A Drop of Water. This film further proved Bava's talent for creating fear through atmosphere and not just gore, which he always preferred atmosphere horror than just straight out gore. And you know what? And there is something scary about atmosphere that can really bring out fear in somebody. Just look at Halloween. You don't actually have to see it. You don't have to see Michael Myers. The atmosphere of him possibly just being there was scary in itself. That's what made Michael so scary. The shape so scary is because you weren't sure if you've seen something in the shadows or not. Ingrid Pitt, yeah, she is definitely beautiful. Hello, Zach. Hi, Lurk. How are you? I hope you're good. Happy Sunday. No worries, Chloe. You're all good. All good. Now, that same year, Bava also directed The Girl Who Knew Too Much, often credited as the first true Giallo film. Now, this film is often credited as that. However, there are films that could be, argued that are the first Giallo, so don't come at me. I'm just saying, in all of my research, I find that this one is, most people say this one is the first true Giallo film. And I say that because people have come at me before when I say that this could have been, or I give my opinion. People have come at me in comments saying, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Personally, I like atmosphere and over-the-top gore. Both are fun. I love atmosphere. Atmosphere gets me. I'm a gore whore pixie, so more blood, guts, and ass on the screen, the better it is for me. But to sit down in the dark and watch an atmospheric, eerie movie, that will definitely give me chills. That would definitely be like, okay, yeah, there's some shit going on. Makes me feel uncomfortable, which is great. I have one of her last movies voiced the character Lady Violator from the animated movie Dominator. Oh, interesting. How you doing, Chloe? Okay, so like I was saying, The Girl Who Knew Too Much is often credited as the first true Giallo film. Bava combining Hitchcockian suspense with Italian stylization, this story of a woman who witnesses a murder set the stage for decades of stylish thrillers to come. If you haven't seen The Girl Who Knew Too Much, I would recommend that as well. If you're going down a rabbit hole of Giallo, definitely start off with some Bava. He's got some really must watch, and I'm actually going to give you a list of my personal must watches of Bava if you're just getting into Giallo. Now, Bava has put himself in some of his movies. He does do cameos in some of his films. And I mean, we definitely know Hitchcock did that. We know William Castle did that. We know Stephen King does that, right? We do know a lot of Robert Englund as well. Not Robert Englund, sorry, Wes Craven. I'm thinking Freddy. I'm thinking Robert Englund. I'm like, yeah, he's an actor. But Wes Craven has put himself in his own movies too. So it's really cool to see that. And Hitchcock obviously was around the earlier time than Bava. But as you can tell, directors have influenced each other throughout the time. What is up, Sebastian? Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good day. These are some of my personal favorite Bava films that I would say are a must watch if you are, one, getting into Giallo, or two, you're already into Giallo, but you haven't seen these ones. And I'm going to tell you Blood and Black Lace from 1964, Kill Baby Kill from 1966, Danger Diabolic 1968, and A Bay of Blood from 1971. And like I said, in A Bay of Blood, there are two kills that are used for exactly the same way in Friday the 13th Part 1 and Friday the 13th Part 2. Same movement, same everything. And when you watch A Bay of Blood, you will notice those two kills. They're plain as day. You will notice those two kills. Now, let's see what we got left of Mario here. One reason Mario Bava's work stands the test of time is his unmistakable visual language. Uh, and if you've watched one of his films, you know what I'm talking about. His visual language, the way he captures everything. Hi, Spooky Pizza. Hi, Spooky Time Pizza. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome. As far as I know, Mario Bava is practically Argento's father into the Giallo genre. Well, yes, he inspired a lot of people. He is the godfather of Italian horror. He's the one that helped take Italian horror to the next level, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, Italy had its horror, but it wasn't as pronounced or as on the rise as when Bavo stepped on the scene. Now, don't get me wrong, there are other directors in that time, like Pierre, which Pierre was more of a political director in every way, shape, or form. And we're going to be talking about Pierre May 25th, and that one's another really good one. So with Bava, now back onto Bava, if you've watched any of his films, you definitely can see the lighting, the visuals, the eeriness that he uses in the atmosphere and around him. A lot of his films are black and white, one, the era that it came out in, right? Bay of Blood is in color. And A Bay of Blood is it's bloody. And as a first, so last night we had a couple of actually everybody was a first time viewer except for myself of A Bay of Blood. No, Sailor wasn't either. So there was two of us that have actually seen A Bay of Blood how many times. However, we had quite a few newbies to A Bay of Blood, and Devil Dog was like, wow, that's a lot of bodies. And I'm like, yeah, it's the Bay of Blood. And the ending, nobody's seen. I fucking loved it because everybody in Discord was like, what? How? What the fuck? The ending of A Bay of Blood. If you haven't seen the ending, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it for you, even though that movie has been out since, what, 1971? The ending is just a friggin' twist. Welcome to the crypt, Murphy. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. 8-Bit, good morning. How are you, 8-Bit? Yeah, Dario Argento had a huge peak during the 70s, which were the greatest time. Giallo really hit an all-time high in the 70s. It was on the, well, when you think about it, Giallo was on the rise in the 60s in Italy, and so was Gothic horror. It was up on its rise. And once Giallo really started to get going, you have a ton of Italian filmmakers that just exploded on the scene, which then, of course, came to North America and then Europe and so forth and so on. Hello, Donnie. How are you? I don't believe I have seen a movie of his. Oh, okay. So let me roll back up, Base Devil. Let me give you my personal faves. Blood and Black Lace, 1964. Kill Baby Kill, 1966. Black Sabbath, Black Sunday, and A Bay of Blood from 1971. Now, also Danger Diabolic in 1968 is not overly a horror film per se, but check out those ones. They are definitely a good time, and they're a couple of my favorites, and I can always put them in the Discord if it is needed. Now, let me just go back here and make sure I didn't miss any of my notes. I have watched A Bay of Blood, and I like it a lot. Bay of Blood, it's a great movie. Hi, Boneyard Cinema. Planet of the Vampire is so beautiful. Had a huge influence on me as a young film fan. Great director. Oh, Mario Bava is amazing. I would agree. There's a ton of Bava films you should watch. He does really good Gothic horror, as he started out in that way. Lust of the Vampire, he doesn't get credit for, like I said earlier, because the original director he was working with, he was actually working under with, walked off. So the original director, Ricardo Freda, got the credited version of director, but he walked off, and actually Bava finished it. But it's still beautiful. I Vampiri. A lot of the films are in Italian, but they have been converted into like The Lust of the Vampire or Twitch of the Death Nerve, aka a Bay of Blood, right? If you put them in Discord, tag me so I don't forget. I have a CCOH channel where I can recommend different things. We're also going to be doing a full, up until the season ending of CCOH, we're going to be talking about Italian horror directors and the filmmakers. You're good just having your coffee and waking up. Nice, nice, nice. Does Kill Baby Kill have another name? It might, Diella. It might, but look for the director, Mario Bava, because it would be his name. My mom and I usually watch classic Giallo films to understand what classic films were like in those years. Yeah, Giallo is great. What do you think of Blood and Black Lace as a movie? I like Blood and Black Lace. It's one of my personal favorites. We love spooky anything and we love pizza. I mean, come on now. All right, let's get back in because I sidetracked like a mofo. Deadwalk would be yelling at me right now. Okay, as a cinematographer turned director, Bava didn't just shoot films, he painted them. And by trade, he was a painter. He used lighting the way others use dialogue to reveal a character, to build tension, and to tell a story without words. If you've seen any of his films, A Bay of Blood is a really good example of this, where he used his lighting, he used the atmosphere, he used the music, and you really didn't have a lot. You didn't really have a lot of dialogue to build all that stuff up. It was a lot of the atmosphere, lighting, how he built tension with the characters, and it's I can't stop talking about A Bay of Blood, or Bava and the way he did his films. Manifesting pizza in your future. Pizza's always delicious. What did you think of Demons 1 and 2? I love Lamberto. I love Demons 1 and 2, and I own Demons 1 and 2. Now, they're great movies. Great movies. I don't think there's really a bad film that has come out that I don't like in Italian horror. Pepperoni pizza? Nice. Okay, so even with limited budgets, Bava created astonishing visuals. He did not have huge producers, and you got to think of the time that they were in the 1960s, coming into the 1970s. Huge Hollywood budgets really weren't a thing like they are today, like, $30 million to produce a movie. But with his limited budgets, he used miniatures, mirrors, painted glass, and clever lighting tricks to bring impossible visions to life. He was a master of illusion, turning small sets into vast Gothic estates. There's a few of his vampire movies. You will see castles and homes. Those are actually miniatures. Tiny little things, but they're friggin' huge with the way he filmed them and how he filmed them. Admittedly, I haven't dabbled with too many retro horror movies. I love the classic horror films. Some of my favorites to watch, like overwatch, and rewatch again. But I checked out nearly every movie on the public domain list. Nice, Spooky Time Pizza, nice. There's quite a few on that public domain list. I miss that type of creativity in movies without relying. Yeah, like back in the day, they used a lot of, what's that movie? Crap. I did a CCOH on it like several years ago, where they were on a piece of glass. They painted Dracula's castle. I think it was Dracula with Bela Lugosi, that they painted on glass the castle and the trees and the roadway where the merchant was actually going up. That visual there was painted on glass. So, nice. I hope, Galaxy. Deadwalk always yells at me to be on time. Stop swerving, because I drive off the path. Okay, so his use of color was revolutionary. In Blood and Black Lace, red meant violence, blue meant dread, and green meant sickness and death. These bold color codes would influence filmmakers like Dario Argento and Nicholas Winding Refn. Now, we also know another movie created by another amazing director. And do you know the film In the Mouth of Madness? This is a more common film that utilized colors as a means to something. I know, right? Tongue twister names. Dario Argento once said horror movies are dead in Italy, and he's right. As we're talking about a glorious time, think of Martin Scorsese said on Marvel films. Yeah. Hi, Arthur. How are you? In the Mouth of Madness is an awesome film. And if you have seen it, but you're just like, you're not really sure, check it out. Sutter Kane. In the movie, there are colors that change, and they're subtle. So if you've only watched it once, I'm going to tell you to go back and watch it again and look at the eyes. In the real world, the eyes are one color. In the other world, the eyes are a different color. The name doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid, but I might recognize the name. In the Mouth of Madness? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Galaxy. That sucks. Carpenter's best, in your opinion? I love In the Mouth of Madness. I did a CCOH deep dive of In the Mouth of Madness. I think it's on my YouTube channel in my playlist. I have been running CCOH for 8 years. So we have been doing horror deep dives for that long. And I have quite a few on my YouTube channel in the playlist section. And In the Mouth of Madness, Event Horizon. Oh my God, what's the other one? Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Ake, Mr. Ake OG. How you doing, Ake? Good afternoon. Thank you. Oh, John Carpenter. I really like Maxine because it is a bit of, Maxine was good. Maxine was more of a Giallo film, an American Giallo film, I would say. Lucio Fulci was the reason I got hooked on Italian horror. Oh my God. Right? Oh, that zombie really frigged me up because of that eyeball scene. But Chloe, we're going to actually be talking about Lucio here probably next season opener in October for Coffee Chat of Horrors. So if you like deep dives into directors and movies, this right now we're doing directors. I find directors don't get enough love. So we're doing that. And then I would like to start doing the stuntmen and women that bring some of the amazing horrors that we see to life for us. Hi, Murphy. It gets better every time. Oh, let's roll up here. Why isn't Twitch letting me roll up my chats? Event Horizon is one of my faves. Yeah, Event Horizon is great. We were actually just talking about Pixie was bringing it up earlier. I don't know if you were lurking at the time, but there are cut scenes from Event Horizon that nobody can find. Definitely not on any of the DVDs or any collector edition stuff that I own, and I haven't been able to find it online. Maybe you know what, Pixie, I'm gonna check with somebody that I know can find quite a few, let's just say, films that have been like shoved underneath the rug because of their content. I will see if they know of anything. Have to get it on VHS. Hello, DJ. How are you? Okay, so where are we? We were just talking about the use of his color, which has influenced throughout time newer movies. In the Mouth of Madness is one of those movies where they use color. So if you don't remember that in the movie, go back and watch it and be mindful of the color changes. They're subtle. They're not huge, but they're subtle. I feel like on a podcast with you, especially, it's about a horror genre. Thank you, Sebastian. I'll check it out. So much to say about that movie, Meta Before Scream. I know, very Meta Before Scream, 100%. I know what I am. Neil chills me in that scene. Yeah. Sam O'Neill, he's really great actor, and I love him in the Mouth of Madness. Hello, Kirby. Demons is a fabulous movie. Are you going to Final Destination? I am. I'd like to see Final Destination and Clown in a Cornfield. Okay, so let's get back on track here. Unlike many of his successors, Bava didn't rely on overt gore, and if you've watched any of his films, you know that. He used suggestion, silence, and pacing. He didn't want to shock you with blood. He wanted you to feel unsettled. And he does that very well, to make you feel like something was just a little too quiet, a little too beautifully wrong. And he does this quite well in all of his films. It's great to watch a Bava film with the lights off and alone, because it is a creepy atmosphere. It does make you unsettled. Alfred Hitchcock, yeah, he's pretty awesome, DJ. Alfred Hitchcock helped influence some of the other directors, like one of my friggin' favorites, William Castle. And I know if you don't watch classic horror, you probably have no idea who William Castle is. William Castle is the reason why we have like haunted Halloween sounds for haunted houses and shit like that. He is the godfather of gimmick when it comes down to his time and the stuff that he would do in the theaters when his movies were released. If you are a film student, you must study both Bava as Argento to understand Giallo as a genre. Yeah, I'm not a film student. I'm just a fan of horror, and in my spare time, I love deep diving into horror as a whole. Basement Cat, how are you? Good morning. Happy Mother's Day, Basement. Did you know Hitchcock's Birds was the first gore movie? Well, I wouldn't say first gore movie, but yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people say things like that. Because technically, there were movies before Hitchcock in other countries. I love the character of John Goodman played in Dante's Matinee. So I love William Castle, right? Right, Ponyard? It's great. If you don't know who William Castle is, please check out the movie House on Haunted Hill, the original with Vincent Price, The Tingler, two of my favorite films. Yes, the House on Haunted Hill has an original film. I know there's like 90% of the population have no idea that House on Haunted Hill was originally done back in the 60s by William Castle. Same thing with 13 Ghosts. The 13 Ghosts that we know with those scary ass ghosts, that is a remake of the original by William Castle. Hello, is it me game? Welcome to the crypt. Thank you so much for the follow. Happy Mother's Day. Yay, happy Mother's Day. No gore film beats Dead Alive. Oh my God, I love Dead Alive. Peter Jackson is amazing. And yes, we have an ad, so we get to sidetrack even more. I thought Blood Feast by Herschel Gordon Lewis was the first ever gore film. Like I said, the first ever gore film, Mega Mel. Thank you for correcting me and putting the pronunciation of your name in chat. I appreciate that, Mega Mel. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the crypt. Dead Alive was lovely. Dead Alive, aka Brain Damage, is an amazing film. 13 Ghosts was great. Oh God, yeah. The original is awesome, and the remake was really, really good. And I find it so funny that a lot of people have no idea that there was an original film. And I tell them, they're like, what do you mean there was an original 13 Ghosts? I'm like, yeah, 1960s. Go check it out. William Castle. He's one of my favorite directors. 13 Ghosts, yeah. The remake is amazing. The remake really brings out the scary friggin' ghosts, you know? Like, really brings it out. The original is definitely awesome, 100%. House of the Living Dead, 1955. Dawn of the Dead remake with my dad, who didn't see anything as he fell asleep on the sofa. Are you going to deep dive on... I can add Herschel Gordon Lewis, Chloe. I can add that to my list. It probably won't happen till next season of CCOH, because we are coming to the end of Coffee Chat of Horror's 7th season. Devil Dog, how are you? Thank you. I was just talking about you a little while ago. I was actually saying how we were watching A Bay of Blood in the Discord last night. Mario Bava heart attack came out of nowhere. Yeah, it was really sad about Mario Bava. But again, like I said, his family, he leaves behind a legacy in filmmaking, especially Italian filmmaking. Look at his son Lamberto. I'm glad you really liked A Bay of Blood. The ending, right, Devil? The ending. My dad always was scared of horror stuff, so he let me watch a zombie movie when I was 7. Speedy, can we give everybody 5,000 limbs so they can play the games, please? That I was not expecting. No, nobody expects it, Devil, in that movie. Thank you, Speedy. I appreciate it. Nobody expects the ending in A Bay of Blood. It just comes out of fucking left field. I like his one movie. I can't remember the name of it now. Evil Dead 2013 remake is an amazing movie. Oh, Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead. Yeah, I thought it was a really great film. I love the way I love Fede Alvarez films, you know. I love his take on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came out on Netflix in 2022 with Mark Burnham as Leatherface. I loved it. And the fact that I got to hang out with Mark Burnham, I fucking love that even more. He's an amazing guy. Wait, what is the command to give everyone? Is it in your mod pack? But I can do it, Speedy. Give me a second. Nope. Just I can let's do it here. So exclamation point limbs, add all one word and amount. Didn't mean to derail the show. It's all good, Spooky. Speedy is a new mod. So my other mod, Deadwalk, has some stuff to do. So Speedy is learning. He's learning. He's got some training wheels on, but he's doing fucking fabulous. The best thing about the new TCM was seeing that, oh my God, it was so great, Pixie. It's so great. I'm a little disappointed in the end, you know, in some of the areas of that movie, but overall, here, there we go. I got you. Hatchet for the Honeymoon, which was rated GP for some reason, making it suitable for all ages, but when it came out to VHS, it was giving a PG rating. Yeah. Unfortunately, Lucio Fulci died of diabetes, the same illness my dad had. Hope may he rest in peace. Yeah. On remakes, I gotta say I loved The Crazies. Oh yeah, The Crazies remake was good. Never better the OG, but great fan service, and it stood on its own. 100% it stood on its own. And not everybody knows The Crazies was a remake. I'm rich, bitch. Yeah, you are. Have you seen? I loved Talk to Me, Mega. I loved Talk to Me. I am excited for A24, who's the makers of Talk to Me, are doing a new Bring Her Back, I think it's called. I'm excited for that movie. You do have some good news, Bumpiest. Go for it, dude. Go for it. I'm coming to the end of my Bava information, so let's see what. Lord have mercy, I like to swerve. Anyways. While Mario Bava wasn't a household name during his lifetime, his legacy is immeasurable. He paved the way for filmmakers like Argento, Fulci, and Martino in Italy. And his work reached across the ocean to influences like American legends John Carpenter, Joe Dante. Carpenter has even cited A Bay of Blood as an inspiration to Halloween, as a few others were an inspiration to Halloween that Carpenter has seen. Now, I read that in one of the articles when I was looking for information on Bava and his films. Devil. Thank you. Thank you for sacrificing the soul of Bumpiest. Mwah. Thank you, Devil. Bring Her Back looks very interesting. I am definitely going to check that out. Yeah, me too. I'd like to. I still have to see Sinners. I haven't seen Sinners yet. But yeah. Wow, Pixie is almost caught up. Yeah, Pixie is addicted to the spin, Speedy. You hit the top 10? Yes. Yeah, Pixie is an addict. We swear to God, she has a timer for every 4 minutes. I think one of the scariest things about horror movies, because off-screen kills, because it makes you imagine the kill. I'm not a fan of off-screen kills, especially in like a slasher movie, but I get what you're saying, Chloe. Toby Hooper did the same thing in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? He wanted your imagination to create the scenes. A lot of people swear they've seen specific visuals in the movie and they were never there. It was just their imagination was so vivid and so aggressive of what they seen. They swear they've seen it in the movie. Yesterday, I found out my best friend had feelings for me, and now we are together, but taking it slow. Good for you, Bumpiest. Good luck. Another movie I only seen bits and pieces of, but it was pretty damn good, is Barren Blood. Carpenter's screenplay for Eyes of Laura Mars is heavily influenced by Bava and Giallo. I think he's got great taste, 100%. Okay, so, and yeah, so his work for that, I got that. Okay, so to sum it up, Mario Bava was a filmmaker ahead of his time. Whether crafting gothic horror, psychedelic sci-fi, or crime thrillers, he brought a painter's eye to every shot. He helped define the Giallo genre and laid the foundation for the slasher films of the 70s and 80s. Like I said earlier, you probably have seen his work, but you don't know that it was his work. His heavy influences, Friday the 13th, part 1 and 2, especially the point of view of the killer. Because if you go back to like a Bay of Blood, and you have Bay of Blood on one screen and Friday the 13th on the other screen and part 2, you can actually see scenes from a Bay of Blood done step by step, kill by kill. The one famous scene in where they're laying on the bed in Friday the 13th and the pole goes down and in between the two bodies, basically impaling two bodies on one giant like metal pole. That is in a Bay of Blood. And that is one of the most iconic scenes in Friday the 13th. Awesome. I'm very happy for you. I wish Tarantino had done a horror film. It would have been the bloodiest movie we could have ever imagined. You should see some of Quentin's, some of his horror movies. Yeah, I did see Rosemary's Baby, but I'm not going to do a review on it. I do movie. Yeah. That was in Friday the 13th part 2. Yeah, in Friday the 13th part 1, there's another kill in a Bay of Blood. So if you ever watch any documentaries on Friday the 13th, they do give credit to a Bay of Blood. Yeah, and that's a Mario Bava work. His work continues to inspire filmmakers and fans to this day. If you're new to Bava, I would recommend with Black Sunday, Blood and Black Lace, and Kill Baby Kill, and A Bay of Blood. These will give you a true taste of his range and style because they're not just a slasher, but they're also gothic horror, and then slowly come down into the horror and crime genre. So they will give you a taste of what his filmmaking was like. Now, I know there's not a lot of you who have seen Bava films, but for those of you who have seen a Mario Bava film, which ones are your favorite? Dusk Till Dawn? Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn is a great horror movie. Yeah. Will anything ever be bloodier than Dead Alive? I don't think so. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, Glenn's death, they tried. The death of Bacon. Yeah. And the same goes for Jeepers Creepers. Mario Balboa's son also does movies. What actor could play Freddy Krueger? You know what? I think Kevin Bacon would do a really good role as Freddy Krueger. And Robert said the same thing as well. Death of Bacon. Hey, Sailor, how you doing, darling? Okay, so this is going to be the end for CCOH, and then we're going to head into our Just Chatting scene. And if you like deep dives into horror and directors, don't forget to scream that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us again, because on May 25th, we'll be diving into the complex and controversial world of Pier Paolo Pasolini. Until next time, my creepies, keep it real, and I will slash you later. That was for YouTube. I love High Tension. Awesome French horror. Yeah, High Tension is great. I did a CCOH on that one too for our French Extreme Horror Month. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you guys do not know, and I'm sure you've heard of this movie, but if you guys did not know who Pier Paolo Pasolini is, he did Salo. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that film. I know it's a very controversial film, and it's Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom from 1976. It is a very controversial film, but Pier Paolo Pasolini was a very controversial political director. And I just started diving into him last night, and some of his some of his own personal work and the way he looks at things and why he creates his movies the way he creates them. Yeah, definitely. Salo had the most chocolate cake ever. We will be watching Salo or 120 Days of Sodom in the Discord. Again, it's not going to be for everyone. It is pretty aggressive film. Russian. I'm not Russian. Stop accusing me. That's a name I recognize. A lot of people recognize the title because it's just as shocking and disturbing as a Serbian film. And everyone up in arms about a Serbian film. And it's just as big a name as Cannibal Holocaust. But again, not a lot of people have seen it. But I do not think I will watch that one. Chocolate cake, oh my. Abel Ferreira made a great homage to Pasolini with William Dafoe. Great work. I love Willem. I love Willem. He's a great actor, so fucking diverse. And I also believe one of Pablo Pasadena movies got a PG rating. Possibly, son. Possibly. Yeah. Remember creep tapes? Yeah, creep tapes are fucking awesome. Creep tapes are good, 1 and 2. I really wish we would get a third, but we did get the TV series, the creep tapes. You forgot the name of it though? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna recommend Salo. I'm not gonna recommend it again because it is a very aggressive movie. There is mental and SA torture involved in Salo. I'll give you a little summary of what Salo is. Salo is, and it's one of his most notorious films that he's made. A group of fascists round up 9 adolescent boys and girls and subject them to 120 days of physical, mental, and sexual torture. So use your imagination there. This film is not going to be for everybody when we go and watch it. However, the deep dive is going to be into Pierre, into his background, into his vision, into his movies, not the actual movie themselves. Hello, Mr. Strange. Driller Killer and Maniac. I love Driller Killer and Maniac. I really thought the remake of Maniac was really well done. It is a very heavy film. Salo wasn't the reason why I wanted a chocolate wedding cake. I finally posted you a comment on your Pontypool video. Check it out later. Can't wait for your real... Yeah, no worries, Kirby. I will definitely check it out. My Pasolini recommendation would be the Cameraman. Beautiful movie. I do love Salo. Not many movies that are that brave and really have something to say. 100% Boneyard. A lot of these political films, a Serbian film is a political film. A lot of people can't get over the fact of what they think they see in that movie and what they see in that movie. Cannibal Holocaust, another one that people can't get to see the message behind that movie. A lot of these shocking and disturbing genre, a lot of these films are not just shocking and disturbing just to be a shock god. They're doing it because this is their view of what political strife they're going through or their country is going through. And like I said, I won't recommend Salo. If it's something that you think you're interested in, go for it. I don't recommend a lot of my shocking and disturbing because it's my favorite genre. I do not recommend a lot of them to people unless I know you're like me and you enjoy that uneasy, unsettling feeling in learning about films like Pixie. I know I can recommend some of my favorites to Pixie and, you know, she's not going to be offended. Medea is another of Pasolini's best films, in my opinion. I figured I'd mention Salo because that is the most controversial one of his films. He's got a ton of films, and I don't think a lot of people here have seen anything by Pierre. But Mama Roma, Medea, Arabian Nights. You might have seen that one. Arabian Nights is 1974. Everything is political. Oh, every one of Pierre's movies were political. It's because he had something to say, and he was actually an activist as well. And they, say he was murdered. But we're going to save that for May 25th. I'm going camping next weekend, so I won't be around for community game night. I won't be around for CCOH. I will be off in the boonies somewhere enjoying Mother Nature. But yeah, we're going to really dive into Pierre Piallo. We're going to dive in deep. We're going to talk about a lot of things about Pierre. Medea is another one of, in your opinion, I think it's a great film. I need to start watching Italian horror. Italian horror is beautiful. Going real deep, Sailor, you know it. Real deep. Communing with Mother Nature is one of my favorite things to do. Are you taking the tricked out van? Oh, that's our camper. Yeah. Hell yeah, Diella. Heavy's out there working on it right now. He's adding a few things. We just got a 12-volt cooler. So he's working things in, and he just built this cabinet inside the van. So yeah, I'm going to have him take pictures when he's done. I just get done playing A Dusk Falls. It is a fun, intense game with watercolor theme. Nice. Yeah. I'm really excited. The Muff Diver. Exactly. I'm really excited to talk about, Palo. Yeah, we do call it the Muff Diver because that is the license plate on the front. And if you know, the Muff Diver is from Cheech and Chong. Who doesn't love Cheech and Chong? I'm going to try to watch The Ugly Stepsister tonight. It's a movie I have been wanting to see since they talked about it on YouTube back in April. I have a recommendation for Heavy for his retro gaming system. Okay, nice. But Bato Sarah Lennox? I got the hiccups. I hate the hiccups. Yeah. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Do-do-do-do. Yeah. I like camping in the van. It's nice. We prefer to tent. However, in Alberta weather, you don't want to tent because the days will be hot. The nights will be friggin' cold. You'd be freezing your asses off. How about the Italian movie The Beyond? The Beyond is a good movie. Now, there's another film. I was just looking that one up. There's another film in 2017. And I wonder if that's a remake because I haven't seen that one. Well, The Beyond is a good movie. I didn't care for... What didn't you care about it, Son of the Maniac? Why didn't you care for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022? I love hearing everyone's input. I do not judge you on your likes or dislikes of horror movie. The horror community on every platform is so fucking stupid, ignorant, and whiny. I don't like to partake in any of it because they gatekeep and then they whine because somebody liked a movie or someone didn't like a movie and then they try to pull your horror cord. Go eat a dick. I love talking and discussing horror, whether your viewpoint on a movie is different than mine. So there is a horror movie plot somewhere in the story of a goth couple going camping in a tricked out van. That is awesome. I'd watch it. It made no damn sense. Why the hell is he only 60 years old? Well, it's going off of the first movie. Caligula with Malcolm McDowell is a movie that has some crazy shit. And you are right. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I had people 2 weeks ago grab their pitchforks against me on Twitter, like I give a fuck. Grab their pitchforks and come at me because I said that I liked specific movies. I like them because they make me feel unsettling. They make me feel uncomfortable. And I like that feeling. I like when a movie can hit me in a way that other movies just can't. And oh my Lord, did their pitchforks come out for me? And I'm like, whatever. wine away. Your tears taste good in my coffee. I didn't think that the 2022 TCM was a good film, but it was definitely satisfying watching the victims die. I loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I love the fact that they brought emotion, more emotion to Leatherface in the 2022 version because it's a direct sequel to Tobe Hooper's original. And there were a few things I did not like, but the gore was fucking fabulous. The very first kill in the movie, oh my lord, that guard's arm, then the knee, oh shit, yeah, no, that was fucking great. Every horror movie has plot holes. I don't give a shit what the movie is. They all have plot holes, and some of them don't even make fucking sense. But I'm not here to make sense of a horror movie. I'm here for the blood, guts, and ass. Options are like assholes. Everyone has one, 100%. It's okay for someone to like something you don't. It is okay. I got news on Tubi. It's Friday the 13th. Nice, Don. If you like a Serbian film, but I cannot stand that film. Yeah, you know what? I own several copies of a Serbian film. I can get past the visuals and the innuendos of that movie. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I love Cannibal Holocaust. I fucking love that movie. That is like my #1 found footage film. Same thing with Poughkeepsie Tapes. I love the Poughkeepsie Tapes. Neither of those movies are based on true events, but if you say you love the Poughkeepsie Tapes, people are like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? And it's like, have you seen the Poughkeepsie Tapes, bitch? Please. I watched one with a huge plot hole. The main character was drinking a Pepsi. Like, really? Who drinks that? Ugh. Yeah, I don't like Pepsi or Coke. And the boobies. We can't forget all the beautiful boobies. No, 100% we can't. Serbian film is crazy. Yeah. It is. It is a very crazy film. It is a very aggressive film. It hits you in different ways. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you go, what the fuck? How and why did they make a movie like this? And I like when a film does that. Cannibal Holocaust was badass. Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust is badass, man. It's, like I said, one of my favorites. Watch the Poughkeepsie Tapes. I love the Poughkeepsie Tapes. But once you find out why the creators of a Serbian film created the film, you understand, you can see, because you know older horror like Pierre's Salo is the same thing. It is a political message. And a lot of people can't get past the visuals of a movie. Cannibal Holocaust. Yes, it's an aggressive movie. It is fucked up. Yes, it has some animal deaths. Yes, it's got a lot of SA. It is a uncomfortable movie to watch. However, once you get past the uncomfortability, you can see the message that is in that film. And the same goes for a Serbian film. Same goes for Salo. There's so many movies. I'm just using those three because those three, for some reason, people like to shit on and call you a psychopath and every other name in the book because you liked the film. And what I liked about it wasn't what they were doing in the film. What I liked about it is how it made me feel. It made me feel, and that's what I liked about it. A movie can be a shit movie, but if it makes me feel something, it's good. I wish I could remember some of the scary ass black and white horror movies I watched. Yeah. Isn't the Green Inferno the kids' version of Cannibal Holocaust? Well, I wouldn't let kids watch Green Inferno, but Eli Roth wanted to create his own Cannibal Holocaust because back in the day, Cannibal Holocaust was actually named Green Inferno. But they figured, well, I don't think people are going to understand what Green Inferno is. So they muted that name and went with Cannibal Holocaust. That one grabbed attention. Trust me, it grabbed a lot of attention. And then Eli Roth wanted to make his own Cannibal Holocaust, and he named it Green Inferno. I find Green Inferno a very tame version of Cannibal Holocaust. It's not the greatest. It's okay. And it's got some really cool scenes in it, I think. Art that makes you feel uncomfortable means that it was effective. You don't have to like it or seek it out, but it deserves respect. 100%. 100%, Pixie. It's like Thanatomorphos. I'm sure the majority of you are like, what the fuck is Thanatomorphos? Thanatomorphos is an amazing French-Canadian film, shocking and disturbing genre, and it's about depression and the spiral of depression and how people with depression, a lot of people who don't have depression, it goes unnoticed and undiagnosed. It's a really great fucking film with a message about depression, but a lot of people, again, can't get over the visuals. It has no SA really in it, but it's gross. It's a gross film. It's about real life body decomposition and how depression and the death of the human body kind of coincide with each other. The steps of depression, because there's numerous steps of depression, right? And there's numerous steps of the body decomposition, and a lot of people can't get over that part. It's a female lead movie as well. I would recommend it. I actually did a YouTube spoiler review. It has 100% spoilers in it for people who can't handle shocking and disturbing films. So I did put in there, you know, it is a fully graphic spoiler. Which movie is this, Ra? Sounds familiar. It's called Thanatomorphos. Are you talking about the one that came out in like 2015 or 2013? Which one? Green Inferno? Not gonna lie, I liked Green Inferno more than Cannibal Holocaust. It's only because Cannibal Holocaust feels a little exploitive, while Green Inferno has the goofy. Well, that's the thing. It's not supposed to be goofy. Cannibal Holocaust was to get a message across, Bryce. It wasn't meant to be goofy. It was meant to make you see, to make you feel. Hello, Big Wild Blue. Thank you, Bone Witch. Now, what are you talking about, son? Yeah, because there's a movie from 2015. Yeah, there's a few called Green Inferno, but this one's Eli Roth's Green Inferno. Faces of Death is a fake movie, and I don't understand why people get so up in arms about that one too. It's fake. It's all fake, and it's actually the reason why Faces of Death was created back in the late 70s is because a Japanese film production company wanted something that was aggressive and disgusting. And back then, you didn't have Google. There was a Fulci movie, The Devil's Honey, that made me feel uncomfortable and became one of my favorites because of it. I agree. Art, good, bad, or indifferent, should make us feel something, 100%. So this is a safe space when it comes to horror. Your opinions will not get you judged here. I don't care if you like the movie, dislike the movie, love the fucking movie. It doesn't change who I look at you as. Do you know what I mean? So we can have conversations about films here. We can have debates about films, which we do. I enjoy debates. I enjoy that different point of view. I don't like echo chambers. I think echo chambers are lame. But I do love a good conversation and back and forth about films. So never feel afraid to discuss that here. And if anyone here was to jump on anybody because they liked a film, you can GTFO and I will ban your ass quicker than anything. I'll judge you if you say I will judge the fuck out of you if you say Jason's a Deadeye, Pixie, 100%. 100%. If you say Jason's a Deadeye and you are not just saying it to piss me off, I will fucking judge the shit out of you. I'm actually going to snooze this ad because we're going to do our credits. I haven't seen Traces of Death movie, but I heard it's more messed up than Faces. Yeah. It seems like Faces of Horror doesn't work in post-internet. No, it doesn't, because it's all fake, right? We didn't have Google back then. And Faces of Death was a rite of passage back in the day when I was a kid, because we didn't have Google. Google did not exist. You were not able to go and check it out to see if it was real. When we found that movie in the VHS shop, the cover of it was black and it had a devil face on it. And you were just like, what the shit is this? And you weren't allowed to rent it. So you were like, oh, we got to get our older best friend to rent this shit because we needs to see it. And then you seen it. And then you told all your friends at school about it, that they had to fucking see it. And then everybody surrounds around the VHS and you're all watching this movie like it is real. 100% zombie. 100%. I really like he didn't start seeing that from My Girlfriend. They have My Girlfriend. They thought he was killing his friends and shit. It might be. Well, I like Larry Cohen's movies. All right, let's get into our ending credits here. I get to go see my grandbabies and my daughter this afternoon, so I can't keep going. Zombie, yeah, but Lucio Fulci, yeah, is really good. Kirby's season Season 8 of CCOH, we're going to be starting off with Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Thank you, Kinara. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Devil. Thank you, Darkbreaker. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you. Since when is Jason not a Deadite? Mischief Maker. Great stream. Happy Mama Day. Thank you, Spooky Time Pizza. Happy Mother's Day to every single one of you who take care of, whether it's a human child or a fur baby, or whether you birth it or not. It doesn't matter. If you take care of something, you're doing a job of a mother. So happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming over here and spending a little bit of time with me today. I do greatly appreciate it. I appreciate y'all coming in, lurking, watching, chatting, and doing your thing. I will be live Monday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time as we dive back into The Last of Us 2 Remastered right here, wherever you are watching. So thank you. Have a great weekend. Devil Dog, thank you so very much for sacrificing the soul of Bumpiest. Paul Schultz, thank you for your 58-month resub. I also have to say Necro, Num Num, and Maven Queen for the offline follows. Mega Mel and Murphy, thank you so much for the follows as well. Have an amazing day. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys Monday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Arthur, take care. I love your guts. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye.